You did everything right. Bottle in hand, pee basically clear, numbers on your tracker look fine. Then your calf locks up like someone flipped a switch. Heat makes it worse. Night cramps wake you up and you are angry because you were hydrated. You even tried sports drinks and still cramped. That contradiction is real, and it's not bad luck. Sometimes more water makes the signal to your nerves and muscles noisier, not cleaner. Moving to slide 2. When you drink a lot of plain water, you can dilute sodium in your blood. Even a small drop can matter because sodium is part of the electrical gradient your nerves use to fire cleanly and your muscles use to relax between contractions. When that gradient gets weaker, nerves can become easier to trigger, muscles can stay twitchy, and a hard contraction can spiral into a cramp. Here's the trap. As your blood gets more diluted, thirst can fade even while your electrolyte losses keep climbing, especially in heat. So you keep sipping because you are disciplined, not because your body is asking for it. And if your drink is low sodium, or you only drink it occasionally, you can still end up in the same place. Hydration is not just fluid volume, it is also the mineral gatekeeping that fluid in the right compartments. Moving to slide 3. Electrolytes are the bouncers at the door. Sodium helps you hold on to fluid and maintain blood volume. Potassium helps balance fluid inside cells. Magnesium supports calmer nerve firing, especially when you are stressed and sweating. Calcium is the on switch for muscle contraction. Chloride usually moves with sodium and matters for fluid balance and stomach tolerance. If you are missing the right gatekeepers, water can end up in the wrong place and the wiring gets jumpy. That is why sweat loss is not the same problem as water loss. Moving to slide 4. Sweat is not just water. It is water plus minerals, and the mineral part is where people differ the most. Some people lose relatively little sodium per liter. Others lose a lot, and you cannot guess it by fitness or toughness. Heat drives bigger losses in 2 ways. You sweat more, and your total sodium loss climbs hour after hour. If you see white salt stains on a hat, shirt, or your skin after drying, that is a strong clue you are a higher sodium sweater. Another clue is a strong salty taste when sweat hits your lips. Long sessions add up. A moderate sodium concentration multiplied by a high sweat rate becomes a big number, and humidity hides the problem. Sweat does not evaporate well, so you may feel less cooling, keep pushing fluids, and still lose liters without realizing it, because you are not seeing evaporation. Your scale is the simplest check. Weigh before and after a typical session. If you are down more than about 2% of body weight, you are behind on fluid. If your weight is stable, but you are cramping and peeing clear, you may be replacing volume without replacing sodium. That pattern has a predictable ending. Moving to slide 5. The classic trap pattern looks like this. You sweat heavily. You replace mostly water. You keep peeing clear, sometimes more than you expect. Near the end, you feel flat, weak, or a little headachy, and then a calf, hamstring, or foot cramps right when you need it most. If that is you, stop treating every thirst cue as a water problem. Match your drink to your sweat. For long or hot sessions, use a higher sodium electrolyte mix or add sodium to what you already drink, and test it in training. Aim to drink to a plan, not to panic. Your stomach should feel steady, your pee should be light yellow, and your energy should not nosedive late. When the minerals match the workload, cramps become a lot less mysterious, even though cramps are not one thing. Moving to slide 6. When you say cramps, you might be talking about 5 different problems that can stack on top of each other. First, electrolyte shifts matter, but not in a cartoon way. If you sweat a lot and replace mostly water, the fluid around your nerves and muscles gets more diluted, and that can increase how irritable those nerves become. Second, fatigue changes reflexes. As a muscle gets tired, the protective wiring that normally tells it to relax stops working as well, and the contract signal can win. Third, pace spikes provoke cramps. A sudden surge, a hill, a sprint finish, even a hard interval after an easy stretch can overload a muscle that was barely hanging on. Fourth, heat raises nerve drive. Hot conditions push your nervous system to fire harder, and that makes a twitch more likely to turn into a lockup. Fifth, past injuries increase risk. If you have a scarred calf or a chronically tight hamstring, that area tends to cramp first because it is mechanically and neurologically less tolerant. Cramps are a pattern, not a mystery. and sodium is often the first lever worth pulling. Moving to slide 7. Most of what you lose in sweat, by mineral count, is sodium. If you eat very low salt and then train long or hot, you start the session behind. Drinking water is still smart, but water needs a sodium partner when sweat loss is high, where you can drift toward dilution. Salt cravings can be a clue, not a weakness. And some people really do need more, especially salty sweaters and heavy sweaters. Moving to slide 8. A lot of sports drinks miss because they make you feel covered while leaving you underdosed. Check the label. Many bottles land around 200 to 400 milligrams of sodium per liter. For a heavy salty sweater, that can be a fraction of what is leaving your body each hour. One bottle feels responsible, so you stop there. But the math keeps running. Sugar is another mismatch.
Carbs can help performance, but higher sugar concentrations can slow stomach emptying for some people, especially when you are hot or pushing the pace. That can leave fluid sitting in your gut instead of reaching your bloodstream when you need it most. If you notice sloshing, nausea, or you cannot drink enough late in a session, consider lowering the sugar concentration and separating carbs from fluids. Mixing errors are common too. One extra scoop, one estimated bottle size, or a powder that assumes a different volume can swing the concentration a lot. Use the drink for what it does well, then deliberately add what it usually lacks. That same logic applies when people reach for potassium. Moving to slide 9. Potassium gets blamed for cramps constantly, but it is misunderstood. Most potassium lives inside your cells, not floating in your blood the way sodium does. During typical sweating, you do lose some potassium, but far less than sodium, and your kidneys are good at conserving it. That is why most athletes do not fix exercise cramps by chasing potassium tablets. Where potassium can matter is in specific situations. If you go very low carb, your early water loss and shifts in insulin can change how your body handles electrolytes, and some people feel weaker or more cramp-prone until intake stabilizes. Certain diuretics can also deplete potassium, and that is a medical conversation, not a sports supplement guess. For most people, food covers potassium easily. Potatoes, beans, yogurt, leafy greens, fruit, and fish can get you there without megadoses. So if you are cramping, treat potassium like a checkbox, not the headline. The more common maybe mineral is magnesium. Moving to slide 10. Magnesium is not magic, but true deficiency can make cramps more likely, especially if your baseline intake is low. Absorption matters. If you have chronic gut issues, frequent diarrhea, or you are constantly taking antacids or certain medications, you may not absorb magnesium well. Alcohol can also increase magnesium losses and disrupt sleep, which adds fatigue on top. If you supplement, the form matters. Magnesium oxide often disappoints because it is poorly absorbed for many people. Glycinate or citrate are commonly better tolerated, but start low. Too much magnesium pulls water into the gut and causes diarrhea, which can worsen electrolyte balance and cramping. Get your basics right, then test one change at a time. That is how you build a cramp profile you can actually trust. Moving to slide 11. Before you try to fix cramps, get specific about your pattern. Start a simple cramp profile. Write down exactly when cramps hit. Was it early, late, or only after you stopped? Note the heat and humidity, because the same pace can cost you a lot more sweat on a muggy day. Log the workout duration and your approximate pace or effort, so you can spot whether it is intensity, time, or both. Then track what you actually took in, not what you planned. How much fluid, how much sodium, from sports drink, salt tabs, or food. After the session, check urine color once you have cooled down. Dark can point to underhydration. Crystal clear over and over can suggest you are diluting. When you can predict your cramps, you can finally choose fixes that match your body instead of guesses. Moving to slide 12. If heat is a trigger for you, preload sodium before you start. Not a giant dose, but enough to raise the sodium available in your gut and blood as you begin sweating. During the session, match your drink to your sweat, not to a generic bottle plan. If you finish long runs with salty streaks on your clothes or burning eyes, you are likely losing more sodium and may need more per hour. Just as important, avoid overdrinking plain water. Too much water relative to sodium can increase cramp risk and can be dangerous. Use your cramp profile to set ranges, like a fluid range per hour plus a sodium target. Then practice it in training until your stomach is calm.
And treat cramps as feedback, not a personal failure. If cramps show up at a consistent time or condition, adjust one variable, retest, and let the results guide you. Moving to slide 13. A few safety notes. If cramps come with confusion, fainting, chest pain, severe weakness, swelling, or you stop peeing, get medical care. If you have kidney or heart disease, or you take meds like diuretics, ACE inhibitors, ARBs, or NSAIDs, talk with your clinician before increasing sodium or fluid. If cramps persist at rest or keep returning for weeks, ask about labs like electrolytes, kidney function, thyroid, iron, and vitamin D. Subscribe for more evidence-based training and fueling scripts. Comment your cramp pattern, when it hits, conditions, and what you drank. This video is for general education and is not medical advice. Energy is a metabolic outcome, not luck.